This week on Unapologetic Uplift.
Yeah, we gaslight ourselves
Oh
so
my!
bad.
I used to be so combustible. Gaslight,
Yeah.
gaslight. I gaslight myself. If you feel bad after you have had a conversation with somebody, that's not your person. If you feel a lack of when you engage with a person, and as soon as you engage with that person, you feel like you have to take a step down so that person can, I guess, feel big about themselves in order for you to be able to have a conversation with them, that's not your person. Walking away does not mean it's over.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Just walking away does not mean it's over. You have to be intentional. You have to tell yourself, this is not what I'm doing anymore. This person does not serve me. This person makes me. If you feel bad after you have had a conversation with somebody, that's not your person. Everybody needs to feel seen. Everybody deserves to be seen. I don't know who spread it, the rumor or sent out a mandate that says you need to act like you know what you're doing. We're all doing this for the first time. And whatever's passed down to you was told to you by somebody who was on a different journey than the one that you're on. You know, you take what you can from what they share, and what doesn't apply to you, you don't apply it without feeling like, oh, I can't even do that. You're not meant to do that. You're not meant to do what your mom did. You're not meant to do what your dad did. You're not meant to do what your brother did. You're not meant to do what your cousin did. You're not meant to do what your high school girlfriend did. This is your journey, your path. If you love yourself, you don't need anything.
Yeah. You could say that again.
Like if you
If you
love
love
yourself,
yourself,
you don't need anything. Anything if you love yourself, everything else is a bonus.
Hmm.
The car is a bonus. The nice shoes is a bonus. The expensive watch is a bonus. Whatever you have, doesn't matter what you have. If you don't love yourself, those things own you. Those things own you, and you end up succumbing to the things that you worship.
Get ready to rise above the noise and unlock your true potential. Welcome to Unapologetic Uplift, the podcast that's all about keeping it real and helping you live your best life. Buckle up. Get ready to learn, grow, and evolve with us on Unapologetic Uplift. New episodes released weekly.
welcome to Unapologetic Uplift. I am your host, Ianthe Mauro, with my beautiful, amazing co-host, Kim Staples. And today we have a guest I'm really happy to introduce you to, Maronzio Vance, also a friend.
Good morning, ladies. How are y'all doing?
We're good. We're good. I've been really looking forward to this conversation because with you, Maronzio, I never know where the conversation is going to take us, but I know that it's going to be, well, first of all, I'm sure funny, but also profound.
I appreciate you thinking so highly of me. I wish my dog felt the same way.
Oh
it's
boy.
it's so weird. They say, "Oh, you get this unconditional love from your dog," and I do. My dog, you know, I'll come to the door. He's like, "Oh my God, where have you been?" I was like, "I just went to the mailbox." It seems like forever. Where? Tell me all about it. Who was at the mailbox? Who did you see on the way? How's everybody doing? And then he'll just go and get back in his bed. I'll give him a treat. He'll go get back in his bed. Like, that's all I wanted. I'll talk to you in 2 hours when I need something else. He loves me, but he has a car sickness. So anytime I grab my keys to go somewhere, he's like, "Where are we going?" I'm like, "I'm about to go get in the car." I don't care. You know that's where you get sick. Ah, sick schmick. Let's go. Let's go. We get in the car, start driving. 5 minutes into the drive, he's leaning against the window of the car like, "What is happening? Is the gas on? Why am I so nauseous?" And it's like, "Because you get sick, buddy." Oh, go back home. Bring it back home. But he loves me that much the way he's willing to go through car sickness to go wherever I want to go. And I feel bad for him because I wouldn't do it. Not for him. I'd be like, I can't do that. Car? No, I'm not getting sick for you, buddy. I love you, but I can't get sick for you. That's crazy.
So I have a question. You brought up love and showing us the example of the unconditional love of your dog. You have something that you have been working on. I think you're going to have to tell us for how long. I don't know when it started, how the idea started.
2006.
2006. Can you share with us a little bit, if you feel up to it, about what Safe Heart is, what that means, and kind of what love means to you and what it's done to you?
Well, for those who don't know, I'm an amorist. I love to write about love. I love to write about dating and relationships, intimacy, the complexities of it, how important communication is, how important it is to understand someone's upbringing, how they process information, their sensibilities. Also, understanding people's love language is important because you can love somebody as hard as you want in a language that they don't receive it in, and you're just pouring water into a colander. It's just, you're never going to fill it up, you know? In 2006, I went through a breakup so bad, I created an insurance company to protect you from ever getting injured in a relationship ever again. It's completely irrational and absurd, but there's some rationality in it. And basically, Safe Heart is like, if you've been injured before in a relationship, or you're trying to get into a relationship, or you're trying to hold on to a relationship, this insurance company is for you. And when people think insurance, it's like, can you prevent it from happening? You can't prevent it from happening. But when you're in a relationship where you're not valued, you're not loved, it's toxic, you have told yourself this is the only person that will love you. You told yourself that this is the only love I'll ever be able to get from this person. This person's the only person who's ever like said I'll be something, or they love me, or they loved me when my parents or my family didn't love me. Doesn't mean they're a good person. You know, you can get manipulated that way. You know, it's narcissism in making someone feel like I'm the only person that's going to love you. So why would you leave me? They're like, because you also hurt me. Hurt schmert. Stay with me. It'll be fine. You know. So when I created Safe Heart, it was meant to be a joke, but 90% truth in it.
Mm.
You know, 90%. You know, I went through a very bad breakup. I was in a relationship with somebody that I kept telling myself I don't like to lose. I don't know if it's a me thing. I don't know if it's a Taurus thing. I don't know if it's a I grew up watching Michael Jordan, so I don't like to lose thing or whatever, but I don't like to lose. I don't like to give up. I don't like to surrender. I don't like to take the L. I don't like to feel like I can't achieve it. So it's like I overdo it, go above and beyond, you know. And the crazy part is, and I've just recently started having this conversation with myself, 50% of the battles I have fought for, I didn't even want it. I just didn't want that loss on my record, if that
Mm.
makes sense. You know, that thing of like, oh, that person didn't that person rejected you. I got to figure out how to get that person not to reject me, how to see the value.
Mm.
But you don't want to do the things that it requires for that person to see you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, if you do this, I'll see you. But that doesn't make you feel good. But you also don't want that rejection. So you kind of like split the difference.
Mm.
You try to tell yourself, oh, I can do this for this person and hold on to myself at the same time. Unless you can split yourself in half, it's not possible. Something's going to suffer. You're going to phone it in. It's going to be a disingenuous connection. You just trying to get a. It's that thing where people try to just get the job done. They don't care how they get it done. They just get the job done because they want the praise of someone saying you did a good job. But you don't say I was miserable the entire time. You know, it's the you accomplished something. Congratulations, you saw it through. Great, but at what cost? So I created Safe Heart, which is essentially I went out and got relationship advisors, life coaches, couple therapists, and they basically appear as insurance agents that when you come in and say, hey, I would like to get relationship insurance, and they'll take a quote from me and say, so what's the problem? What's your relationship like? What's your do's, your don'ts, your traumas? And then we'll set you up with a plan that helps you not make the decisions that you make that get you in the situations where you end up getting hurt. And that's your insurance policy. And you follow that to the letter. And as long as you follow that to the letter, Safeheart supports you. But if you don't report stuff that you have going on in your relationship or this new relationship that you're about to get into, and you don't let us know, hey, I'm about to get into this new relationship, I have my policy out, making sure I'm doing my do's and my don'ts and what I won't settle for, making sure you set boundaries for yourself in the relationship up front. If you follow that, we support you. You don't follow that, it's like driving drunk. Insurance company can't cover you. They're like, you drove drunk. You're on your own now. Figure that out. You went outside of the policy. You went outside of the agreement that we had that you won't do X, Y, and Z, and you did it. Now you want us to pay for it. Nah, we can't do that. Or you'll pay extra premium. You get more counseling, more damage control needs to be done, more finding out why you did what you did. Why are you lying to yourself? What about this person makes you lie to yourself?
Mm.
Because you'll lie to yourself to
Hmm.
be in something because it looks good or you don't want to look like a failure. Or to avoid being alone. Because, the things you do to avoid being alone, bruh.
Yeah, we gaslight ourselves
Oh
so
my,
bad.
I used to be so combustible. Gaslight, the
Yeah.
gaslight, I gaslight myself. Woo! But yeah, so that's the crux of Safeheart. And in February, I'm going to do a pop-up shop, like a actual brick and mortar setup for people to come in, sit down with the agent, talk to them or whatever. You get yourself an insurance card that says, hey, I have Safeheart insurance, which basically is like a promise ring in the form of a card. Like, I'm going to do right by myself. I'm going to make sure I ask the right question. I'm going to make sure that I'm not trauma bonding. I'm going to make sure I'm not trying to find somebody to fill the holes that mom and dad didn't fill, or try to find somebody who looked like the person I lost for
Mm.
whatever reason. You try to find a good stand-in.
In codependency, there was a thing that they say that you keep finding the same person. They just have a different haircut, different name, but you're finding the same person until you actually do the work to get out of those patterns. And it's so true. And so much came up for me when you were talking, Maronzio, and I feel like a couple things. One is, how did you go from, because our audience may or may not know you, and how did you go from
Oh,
being a celebrated comedian, which you are, to this? And what are you doing also in the world of comedy? And how are they related for you? And are they, or are they not?
I've done a rebrand, if you will. I started comedy when I was 10. I
Wow.
figured out how to put words together to get a response of laughter. First with my dad. I started with my dad first. Like, if I could make this iron steel, no emotionless person laugh, I'm off to a good start. Make my mom laugh for a myriad of reasons, making her laugh, making family members making people laugh out of protection also, in the sense of, if you make the bullies laugh at you, they'll protect you. And they're like, oh, don't mess with little man, he's funny. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you,
Mm.
neighborhood bully. Thank you so much for finding humor in me trying to survive. I love it. Now when I perform is to I used to call comedy fast food, depending on the comedian you go see. Fast food meaning it just fills you up for that moment. It doesn't really leave you with anything. You laugh at the moment, like, that was funny, but you can't remember anything that person said, or that joke didn't have any nutritional value to you. It's like, oh, I didn't leave here with anything. I just left it with some laughter, which is fine. That's what reality TV is for. You just want to numb your mind, not think about the pile of clothes you got in the corner that's looking at you like, when are you going to fold me? Or your dog looking at you like, when are you going to do anything for me? Or not really want to have that conversation with yourself about how you don't show up the way you think you show up or you want to show up and the work that it would take to do it. We fall into that trap of, as long as we say it out loud, it's kind of like we did it. You say, oh, I'm going to build a house. And the one be like, oh, he going to build a house. I don't really got to build a house now because you got excited about me telling you I'm going to build a house. But as long as I keep telling you I'm going to build a house, you're like, he's going to build a house. Wait. He's going to build a house. So when I go on stage now, it's more storytelling. I talk to the audience. I open up by letting them know I'm going to tell them a story. I'm like, look, I'm going to tell you a story. Then whatever time we have left, we'll do something with that. But for this first part, I'm going to tell you a story about how I created relationship insurance. And I explained it to them. Simple. I don't really try to tell it as a joke. It's funny because it's absurd. Someone sitting in the audience like, relationship insurance? That's crazy. What are you talking about? And then you explain it to them. Then you explain it why you created it. You know, it's for coverage, to protect yourself from when someone asks for the truth and you give it to them, they don't accept it, or they don't like your truth, or they don't like the conversation. It's like, but you agreed to this. You asked me for my truth. I gave it to you. Now you don't like it. I don't know what to do with that information. You asked for pancakes and eggs. I brought it to you, and you're like, I want different type of pancakes. You had to be a little more specific next time. You want cinnamon on them?
Well, I love that because yeah. The dots that connect for me were that, so correct me if I'm wrong, you've been doing comedy since you were 10, a lot of reasons why, and some of them protection reasons. But overall, comedy felt like it wasn't nourishing enough, and you wanted something more. And so creating Safe Heart has been a way for you to offer it to be more and potentially nourishing for people that come to your show, actually thinking about protecting their heart and knowing that they're not alone in feeling maybe like they do need that form of protection. And so I love that and how it connects to you as a comedian. And Kim, I want to let you say anything because I've just been listening to Maronzio and then I chime in and I haven't let you, so.
No, I love it. And I think we all can resonate with wanting to insure our hearts. And I as you're speaking, I have a friend that I'm like, I'm going to send her to you.
Exactly. I have a list.
Listen, I have a lot of friends that, so, and I'll send you the flyer. I'll send you like
Please.
all the letterhead, like all the stuff I have. I created this a course with inside the Safe Heart Insurance. I do a joke about how I had to go to therapy to learn how to break up with a woman because a lot of men don't know how to break up, get out of a relationship. We know how to get into one, but we don't know how to get out of one. And to some degree, that should be understandable because how do you quit a job you begged for?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's also the sunk cost fallacy where we're in a relationship and it's like, oh, but I've invested so much into it.
Yes.
So how do I walk away from this?
How do I get my return?
Yeah, exactly. With very little regard for what it's actually doing to us.
Right. You don't want to lose. It's like going to the movies with somebody and they walk out in the middle of the movie and just leave you sitting there. And it's like, what? You don't want to be embarrassed. You know, like, oh, I'm here by myself now. A lot of people don't want to leave the theater. They want to just sit there and tell themselves the movie will get better. It's not going to get better. It's not going to get better.
Yeah. It makes
me
think
The date was the trailer.
Yeah. I was in a very toxic relationship for about 13 years, was married, and I really did get stuck in that place of trying to portray to the world that everything is perfect and caring so much about what other people thought. I have this beautiful family and everything is perfect, and masking what was really going on, caring more about what the rest of the world thought than what my heart was actually experiencing.
I did a show at this club called Flappers in Burbank. After the show, because I had did this whole the relationship part opens up the whole world of me being able to talk about relationships and dating and men not feeling like they have a safe space to be vulnerable with their partner. And then I explain why men sometimes don't open up. You know, the fear of you using what I share with you against me later, or,
Mm-mm.
you know, as a man, you don't want to lose confidence in the team by saying, hey, I think I'm falling apart, without being accused of like, oh, you don't have your stuff together, or are you gay now, or did you, what did you do wrong? It could just be, I'm not feeling myself. I don't feel supported. A lot of men don't know how to articulate that they don't feel supported in their relationship. A lot of men don't know how to explain, hey, I have emotional needs also. That's not equated to physical needs. We need a space to talk. And you would think you could do that with your partner, and you should be able to do that with your partner. But that's not always the case. And sometimes you don't even have time to care about yourself because the game is in progress. You just can't walk off the court and say, look, I'm tired right now. I can't play. Like, nah, we down 15 points. We need you to play. Like, you're the leader of the team. It's like, but I'm tired. I don't feel well. I'm fighting to hold on to a job that has all these political things going on that I have no control over. I'm trying to come home, be a supportive spouse, partner. You have your stuff going on. By the time you share your stuff, I don't even want to bother to say, look, and then a bear bit me yesterday, but don't worry about it. I'll just wrap it up, bleed out. There's money in the dresser. Y'all should be fine if I don't make it. Whatever that scenario is, we have a hard time talking. So I got off stage, and tall man, truck driver hat, beard so long he could probably tuck it into his pants. T-shirt, like he just got off work, jeans on, just regular blue collar guy. He comes up to me after the show. He said, man, that was incredible. He shakes my hand and then says to me, can I give you a hug?
Mm.
Of course. He just said, thank you. Where it gets even more interesting, he's with his wife. And his wife is like looking at her husband hug the smaller man in a way that's like, yo, do y'all know each other? Like, I haven't, like, y'all not seen each other in years? He was just happy that somebody saw him without pointing him out and saying, hey, you going through some stuff. It was just me talking, people sitting in the audience. It's like my mom said, I'm going to cook it. I'm going to put it out there. If you want it, you'll eat it. If you don't, that's fine. But I'm not cooking anything else. This is what I'm making. This is what I prepared. I hope you like it. I'm not making anything else. I don't pivot from what, if you're not enjoying what I'm talking about or you don't want to face it, because a lot of people don't want to talk about it.
Right.
It's an uncomfortable conversation, especially on the ride home after a comedy show where you came to take your mind off your relationship and I just threw it back in your face. We don't talk in the ride home. Like, do you want to quit your job? No, I'm happy here. I love working at this relationship. I've always wanted to work here. I can never see myself working anyplace else. Get those conversations going.
Yeah, it
And that's
sounds
all I
like
really.
when people see themselves in you, it's a massive permission slip too. I imagine they see you and it's like, oh, wow, I see myself in you based on
Yeah.
what you're saying. And that is a massive permission slip because I'm not alone. And if this guy can
Right.
do it, I can do it too. So let's open up the conversation now. And
Yeah, and I
that's
just did it in front of
massive.
300 people. Yeah, I just had this conversation in front of 300 people, and 10% of the people may have got it, and that's good. That
Yeah, that's
I'm
great.
I'm great with that. The number that works for me. 50%, amazing. All 100%, unheard of. What am I, Jesus now? I don't want that. I don't want
Well,
that.
I think honestly, even if one, I would say even one person leaves your show transformed and feeling seen and safe with options, that is a win, in my opinion. So 10% is huge.
Yeah.
And it's part of why, I mean, what Kim and I do with Unapologetic Uplift, the reason we have it called that is exactly what you're talking about that you're doing. And what you mentioned with your mom and putting food out in that analogy, because the idea is when we're unapologetic, we're just saying it. How it lands on people, we don't know, but we're going to tell the truth. And it isn't comfortable necessarily, but I have found at this stage in my life, and I think both of you, I want to know if you found that you're here too, but in this stage in my life, it's way better for me to be uncomfortable and tell the truth than to be worried about my comfort. And so I'm not going to tell the truth.
Right.
I can't do that anymore. And I feel like that's one thing that you're so good at, Maronzio, is that I have a feeling, I mean, I know you, right? So as a friend, and I know, if it's okay for me to say this out loud, we never have elephants in the room, but I know that a lot of this makes you uncomfortable and you do it anyway. And that's what I think makes people feel so seen, because it's not easy to do that. And yet, like I said, it's the only way it's the only way I want to live anymore. I don't,
It's a heavy lift for me. Like,
I know, yeah.
it's the road less traveled. I can tell jokes to make people laugh. I understand the language of humor. I've done this since I was 10. I perform with everybody I could possibly want to perform with that is alive. I've met my heroes. Performed on. I performed in front of as many as 15,000 people at one time. But I wasn't telling the jokes I wanted to tell. I told the jokes that I felt like they would like early in my career. And at some point, those laughs don't mean anything to me because it's like I didn't even want to say that in the first place. But that was more for you than it was for me. And it's like I want to get something out of this relationship that we're creating together. So we need to split the difference. I'm gonna talk about some stuff that I want to talk about, and you're gonna have to ride with me. And I'm going to incorporate some stuff that you want to talk about, and I'm gonna ride with you. You know, I may break down something that I don't want to discuss, but it's pop culture, it's topical. I'll address it because if I don't, people will say, he didn't even talk about such and such. I didn't really want to, but it'll make you feel better. So fine, let me make a joke about this. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to move on to this joke that I'm working on, or this idea of, I make fun of men who complain about not getting sex from their women. They're like, I think my girl cheating on me because she's not giving me sex. I say, no, that's not it. When a woman stops feeding you, that's when she's out. When a woman stops making you sandwiches and feeding you, because men forget to eat. We'll go in the garage, we'll go sit on the couch, we'll go upstairs, we'll get lost in whatever we're doing. And then you don't even know you're hungry. And then the person in your life just shows up with a sandwich like, here, you saved me. I was dying in here. I didn't even realize it. When a woman stops feeding you, she's out because you're not gonna remember to feed yourself, and you're gonna die. You're gonna fade away. You're gonna die from starvation.
I literally this morning, it's funny because it's true. And I have this funny thing about I don't love to cook anymore. I say anymore because there have been times in my life where I love to cook. Like when the kids were younger and their friends would come over, it was an excuse to express myself through food and have everybody sit down and like what I was making and want to
Yeah.
come over again for it. But I haven't been in that mode at all. And as an empty nester, I just don't ever have kids around. I just don't want to. I'd rather have a bowl of cereal. I get so lazy about cooking. But what I noticed this morning even is I was feeling this sense of I'm so proud of myself because I made eggs for my husband and a good piece of sourdough toast, and I put it in front of him when he was at the computer, and I was like, look at me. This is so good. And so it's funny that it's great to hear you say that because seems like a little thing that could not be a big deal, but I was feeling like it was a big deal.
Because you saved him.
Yeah.
When someone no longer desires to nourish you, you're in trouble. And nourish doesn't just mean with food. Nourish means your feelings. noticing when your partner is exhausted and they don't see it, and you come to their rescue without taking their power away or their agency or whatever. You just come in and assist without them even realizing it in a small way, you know, and being able to do it without bringing attention to, you see, I just saved you, right? What? I was fine. No, you wasn't. You was in here dying. I came in and I breathed life into you. Say thank you. Thank you? Like you just beat me up because I didn't acknowledge the fact that I didn't know I was drowning and you saved me? If I don't know I'm drowning, how do I thank you for something I didn't realize I was going through? Well, sometimes you just got to help and be like, they don't even realize it. That's fine. You do it with your kids all the time. Your kids don't know anything. They just came in the world yesterday. I'm doing
Yeah.
stuff for you. I'm keeping you alive. They don't know you're keeping them alive. They're like, this is what parents do. Woo! Mom, dad, whatever.
Yeah, we're not keeping score.
No, we're not keeping score, but some people keep score. And that comes from trauma, though. That comes from not being acknowledged, not being told you are valuable, that you're worth anything, that you bring anything to the table. Hey, you're a great partner. Hey, you're a great listener. You know, the other day when I was feeling bad, you just came and sat next to me. I really liked that, even if you didn't say anything. Depends on what the situation may be. Sometimes you don't need to say anything. Some people just don't want to be alone in whatever they're going through, right?
I want to say something on that because you mentioned it earlier about the fear of being alone will often keep people in a relationship that's toxic and way longer than they need to be. And what I want to offer, if you're listening right now and you're feeling like that might be you, is that the loneliest I've ever been was when I was in a relationship.
Oh, gosh.
Same.
Oh, I have been. There's nothing worse than someone telling you that they are your person and
Mm-hmm.
not doing anything that shows you that they are your person.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
just
a situation I was in. I was in a relationship with a mutual friend, and I don't talk about it a lot because this person really didn't think that they were doing anything wrong. It was a very selfish situation. I was very encouraging to this person, very supportive of this person. Even in the areas of the things that they didn't believe in, that I didn't believe was like, that's not even necessary to do just from a business standpoint. But this is your thing. I can't tell you how to create your art. I can't tell you how to, I don't know your vision. I don't know what spoke to you to say this is how I need to move. Only to be told that I don't know how to have a conversation because I wanted to talk about the things that they didn't want to talk about. And then this person invited me to go to therapy with them as a couple, and then found out some things about me in the therapy. She basically did a Sheryl Crow after Lance Armstrong found out he had testicular cancer and then left him. Found out that I had been through something as a child that I didn't know I had suppressed or was trapped inside of me. And then when I shared it, they were like, ooh, I don't want to do this anymore. I didn't know you've been through that. I can't do that right now.
yeah.
And without giving out too much detail, I was taken advantage of by females when I was younger. From the age of 6 to probably like 9.
Mm-mm.
Different women. And it just contaminated how I received love, and it was more
Yeah.
physical than anything or whatever. And I shared this with this partner in therapy, and it turned them off, I guess, and they didn't want to be with me anymore because they were like, oh, and they didn't say it, but shortly after that session, like, oh, I think I need to be by myself or whatever, and then came back probably like a month later or 2 months later, like, we should, I'm ready to try it again. I was like, no, I can't. No, like I opened up to you. I share something with you that I have not even shared with my mother yet.
Yeah.
I'm sharing something with you that I later had to have a discussion with my mother because I'm like, this person knows. I gotta let my mom know now. So I shared with her. She gets distant or whatever, and then wants to come back, and I'm like, you, what you did to me is just as bad as what was done to me when I was a kid. I shared with you something that happened to me, and instead of you like say, oh, let's talk about it. How do you feel that you got this off of you? That conversation never happened. It was just like, oh, it's like when your car get broken into, you don't want to get in it anymore because it's like, someone else has been in my car that I don't feel safe in that car anymore. So you want to get rid of that car. I felt like a
Exactly. Yeah,
car
the
that had been,
safety's gone.
yeah, the safety is gone. But like the thing that she had an issue with, the safety wasn't a concern in regards to like, oh, is he going to go out and do something? Does he have, bad habits of that? I'm just a guy that doesn't like to lose a person once I invest in them to a detriment at one point.
Hmm.
At one point. Not anymore, but at one point, I was definitely like, I don't want to lose. I don't want to be alone. I don't want this person to tell somebody else that he wasn't a good boyfriend or a good partner, or whatever. And not thinking about the fact that maybe this person wasn't good to me.
Right.
I'm trying to do PR and protect myself at the same time. So, and then she later went on a podcast she had done and was like, she was all over the place. Oh, I'm still in love with my ex-husband. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You what?
And that
Shit.
wasn't you. I'm just telling our audience you weren't the ex-husband.
Oh, I was not the ex-husband.
I'm just
I
letting you
wasn't.
know. I'm filling that in for our
Oh yeah,
audience
yeah,
because
yeah.
they might
I was.
assume that,
Oh,
yeah.
I was not married. This person. You ever meet somebody who wants a great backstory? Like they have to have a great backstory. They want their story to be so, like when they really don't. When the problems in their relationship are the ones they create for themselves, but the backstory is like this. And there were things that she shared in therapy that I was like, okay, but I'm not about to say, oh, I can't. It just is what we live. I have an issue with people treating everybody like you're supposed to know what you're doing when we're all doing this for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
Kim's
rude.
what it is rude. Kim's background, she has a background and she did a whole part of her life, like a chapter of Kim's life was helping people out of seeing narcissistic relationships, understanding what that is, and then helping them heal out of it. And I say them, but it actually was women specifically. But so this is all very recognizable. I know Kim was making lots of expressions of confirmation as you were talking. And I will add that that person that you're talking about that you went through that breakup with, the funny thing was one of the things that got you and I to be closer as friends is that she broke up with me at the same time
Yeah,
that she broke we both lost that relationship at the same
yeah,
time.
Wow.
And we bonded. We're like, are we crazy? What's happening
yeah.
here?
Because we both started talking like, because
Yeah.
you had kind of fallen out of the picture. I'm like, what's happening? Oh, I'm going in a different direction. You want a different direction when it comes to friendship? What is this? Is it a
I know.
business? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? You
Yeah.
going in a different direction? That person doesn't. That person doesn't support me the way I need to be supported, or that person's energy is whatever. It was. It was weird to hear because have you met this woman? What are you talking about? This person's energy is not good energy. No, you got on a high horse, and
Yeah. And I'll
I'm not
tell
gonna
Sounds like
you,
say
what's in it for me.
what's in it for me should be that person on the awning of their business
they
card.
wear a tag and the name
Oh,
tag, it's like literally says that. What's in it for
hi, my name is
me?
so and so. What's in it for me? And if there's nothing in it for me, keep walking.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing
Oh,
as you guys are speaking of this
Oh,
person.
anybody that and will recruit anybody that would buy into whatever. She's like, oh, I'm this type of person. I'm just trying to find people that blah blah blah, and then people like a great salesman, great saleswoman. Oh, great saleswoman, can sell you on something because she talks fast, like she's very expressive, get you on board. You be like, oh my God, I like this type of energy. And then you find out none of that was for me. It was just for her.
Mm-hmm.
She got me hyped to help her. She got me hyped to let her have access to who I know and stuff like that. And man, I was packing up carts because she sold jewelry. She would do farmers markets and pop-up shops randomly in different places. This whole entire world was new to me when I came into it, but I'm the type of person, if I see you on the side of the road pushing your car, I'm going to get out to help you push your car because you're not waiting on someone to help you. You're actually trying to get it done. I'm not doing nothing. Let me go help you, you
Yeah.
know? Or you're my partner. I want to see you win. We'll sleep better if you're happy. So I did that
Yeah.
for much longer than I should have. And I knew I had grown. That was the relationship that made me say, you can't do it this time. You
Mm.
can't go back to prove to somebody that you're worth it when they're just greedy. You know, you can't feed somebody. No one's going to get full if they're not eating what they want to eat.
Yeah. It's never
Yeah.
enough.
You know what I mean? Like, you can take me to a restaurant. If I don't like the food, I'm going to eat because you brought me here. But when I leave, I'm going to go to In-N-Out. Because I know I'm going to get full off of In-N-Out, even though I know it's not the best thing for me.
And as painful as that was, that relationship for me and the loss of that relationship was painful at the time. And now I see it with so much gratitude. I learned so much from that. And I'm so grateful that I could be in relationship with someone like that and then realize how to not allow that to happen again. It's like I needed that experience so I would be able to recognize it. Would it come up again? And it did come up again. I've had and I noticed patterns, and I've had friends that come to me that even will say, you reminded me something. It's interesting because we did an episode recently about gossip. We don't like to talk about other people and gossip because it's very toxic. And then I said, but there's a difference when you're processing something with people that you trust. You sometimes do have to talk about scenarios of how people were with you
Yeah.
and how you related with them. And that's what we're doing here. So I want to point this out as an example of it's not gossip, because what we're doing
Oh, I'm
right now
not
is
gossiping at all.
processing.
Yeah.
No. So I just wanted to say that out loud because we just did an episode on that recently. But what I notice when I notice a pattern, then I know that it's something for me to work on and it's not about them. And so what she had said to me, which you brought up and reminded me, was about very much wanting something from me. You don't have a big enough email list. So I'm going with this other person who has a bigger email list. It happened again to me in my life, and it's happened a few times. And so I have to realize that just means that there's these different levels of friendship for me. They're not going to be in my closest circle, because someone that's looking at me for what is she going to give me,
Yeah.
I can be acquainted with, but they're not my close friend. And the only
Right.
mistake I made there was when I think this person I'm letting them into my closest inner circle. And now I know not to, and there's no judgment in that. It's just that's not what I'm looking for. Now, Kim is in my close circle. Kim is someone who would never do that to me. Never. So I definitely have grown, and I don't know that I would have if I hadn't had that relationship and that experience. So it's all gratitude.
Like, I don't give myself enough credit for, and talking about it now, right now, I don't think I gave myself enough credit for not putting myself through what I would normally put myself through to get somebody back. I broke a cycle. I broke a
Yeah.
cycle by not saying, please take me back, or I'll do better. I can't do any better than what I'm doing when I'm trying to make you happy, when
Mm.
it's impossible to do so because you're not happy. You can't make somebody happy who's not happy with themselves. You can't love somebody who does not know how to be loved. You can't force someone to accept your love. You can't force someone to accept love, period, if they don't know how or recognize it or see it or even know how to process it. You're talking to a brick wall. Trying to love it.
Oh, yeah, so much there. The
Come
whole
on,
trying to
Kim.
make other people
What's going on?
happy. That was actually a huge thing for my husband trying to make me happy at times when I wasn't happy, and him trying to take responsibility for my happiness and it making him miserable. That there was a time when I was really depressed and struggling with my mental health, and he was taking that on as his own and had to learn that he's not responsible for my
Yes.
happiness. I'm responsible for my happiness. So I think so many of us will take that on, but there are certain men that really, really, really get caught up in that, in trying to, I don't know if it's coming from a place of trying to provide, and I'm trying to provide your happiness for you. And it really isn't possible. We all have to take accountability and responsibility for our own happiness. It's an inside job.
And we have so many. Instagram is like it's a gift and a curse. Everybody's a relationship expert.
Yeah.
Everybody on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, everybody's a relationship expert. Everybody's a counselor. Everybody's a medium, a psychic. Everybody's everything, And then the algorithm feeds you the things that you want to see, not the things that you need to see. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, you got to find somebody that'll make you happy." When someone says that, automatically, I keep scrolling. I'm like, "What are you talking
Red
about?"
flag.
Find somebody to make you happy. Find somebody who wants to move heaven and earth for you. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Heaven and earth? Two things? That's a lot of moving. You're going to help me. My back's going to go out, all this moving you're talking about. Heaven and earth at the same
Right.
time? What are you talking about?
How about you find someone that can hold up the mirror and help you figure it out for yourself?
So I wrote a book for Safe Heart. After probably in the next 2 weeks, I'll be completely done with it. I've just been doing a lot of rewrites. And listen, anybody who's ever written a book before, my hat goes off to them. Writing is a process I don't wish on anyone. I'm just cursed with the desire to want to write. I'm cursed with wanting to communicate. I'm a hybrid of, my spirit animal is Anthony Bourdain meets James Baldwin with a splash of Carrie Bradshaw. Because
that's a great image.
Listen to me. I'm a straight male, but when I tell you I have seen every episode of Sex and the City, I have seen every episode. I know every character. I know who Carrie, Samantha, Charlotte, Miranda have dated. All of them. Everybody from Big to Burger, I know everybody. I have seen every Aiden, every Steve, every episode of Sex in the City. Iconic show, way before its time, but right when it was supposed to be. But I watched that show and I'm like, I love Carrie Bradshaw, but she is her own worst enemy. Like, she's the villain of that show. God, she's the villain. Carrie's the villain. Oh, gosh. Just a dream girl, just in her head, creating problems for herself. The overthinking. Why isn't it drama? I like it when drama means he loves me. Oh, what are you talking about, Carrie? I'm sorry.
And that's you. That's so interesting. I didn't know.
Oh, I got the box set. Oh, I have the box set somewhere. I have the pink box set it came in, the velvet cover on the front of it. You open it up, and it's just, I know the first episode by heart. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Because the first episode of Sex in the City, Carrie's like, I want to have sex like a man. That was the plot of the first episode. I'm going to have sex like a man. So she hooked up with some guy that she used to have sex with and tried to have sex with him without no feelings. It's an ugly game. Don't play it. And then she got mad that the guy didn't have a problem with her like not wanting to see him later or whatever. Like whatever it is, she was like, oh, cool. We don't have to be a couple. We can do this whenever and whatever. And she's like, really? Like you're not gonna be mad that I don't want to be with you? No, this is exactly what and I've had that happen to me. I had a woman come to me and was like, oh, I just wanted to make out with you so I could make you want me, and then I'll leave, and then leave you hanging and make you desire me. And it's like, you thought that through? Like you sat down? Did you write this down on paper and read it out loud to yourself? Do you hear how you sound right now?
Wow.
She thought it was going to be revenge.
Mm. Well, we
Who's your
see why safe
campaign?
heart's
Who's your
needed.
campaign strategist?
Yeah.
Roger Stone? Who is your campaign strategist? Who told you this would be a great idea? You know what? You should go have sex with him and then not talk to him anymore. That'll get him. Oh, you're hurting when you do that. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself because you want me to feel pain that you felt that I didn't cause you, that somebody else caused you, but you're trying to see if it'll work on me. Why am I the guinea pig in this situation? Because people hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
So, Safe Heart book will be done hopefully by the end of this month, and I have a whole rollout plan for it. If you see my social media posts, I'll post, advertising that Safe Heart is coming or that it's already here. I have people, if you go to my website, if you type in safeheartinsurance.com, it takes you to the website. There's a website for it. You can file a claim saying, hey, I went through this breakup. This is what happened. I give you an option of hypothetical, what you would like to see happen, what realistically would you like to see happen. Give us the background information on the relationship. How long were you in it? How did you meet? How did it end? A lot of people don't get closure. Like I said before, I have classes to teach people how to break up with people because everybody doesn't know how to break up with somebody,
Right.
And at the very least, do your part by making it a clean break. You can't do anything about what the other person doesn't accept, but at the very least, be a compassionate, understanding human to say, hey, we need to talk. This is what I thought I wanted. This is not what's happening. Give the other person an opportunity to explain themselves. Give the other person an opportunity to defend themselves. Say, hey, I didn't know that was happening. We didn't discuss it. You may find out that you wasn't talking about the things
Yeah.
that you should have been talking about. You thought you were because you did things and you thought, oh, if I do this, they'll fix it. And it's like, nah. Some people need you to actually just say it. Let's just practice the art of just saying it.
I love
Subtlety
that.
doesn't work on everybody. Sarcasm doesn't work on dumb people. You ever try to be sarcastic with somebody who can't read? It's literal to them. Mentally
Yeah.
ill, sarcasm is literal to people, So let's get into the art of just like saying, hey, we need to talk. Safe space. We're going to sit down. No pointing the fingers, no blaming anybody. This is my experience in this relationship. This is what I'm getting. This is what I'm not getting. This is what I think I need. This is what I know I need. I'm not sure I need this, but I think I need this. Can we find out if this is what I need? And then if that's not, I'll say, oh no, I don't like cranberries in my salad. Take it out. Let's find out what makes a good salad in this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a piece, and I don't know if I sent it to you or not, but I wrote an essay, and the crux of it is I want to get a grant, and the grant will go to studying loving somebody without focusing on anything else. Like I want a grant to research what it takes to love somebody so they will live longer.
You did share that with me. It's really
Okay.
a really cool concept. Yeah.
Yeah. I wrote a whole grant about how I want to get money. So all I have to do is focus on figuring out what it takes. What do I need to do to love another human being enough to extend their life?
And it
Wow.
speaks to I've mentioned this before, and I want to find for you, Maronzio, I'm going to look for the actual source so you can see it, because I think it would be beneficial possibly for what you're doing. But I think it was a Harvard study. They were asked, what is it that makes people the healthiest, free of disease, chronic disease? And so the things that they were wondering about is they were checking, like, how much sleep are the people getting? How much are they, what's their exercise like? So it was all that stuff you'd imagine, right? What are they
Mm-hmm.
eating? What they came up with in the end is the people that are the healthiest, and it may not be the live longest, but it's the healthiest, free of chronic disease. They simply feel loved and supported.
And people don't understand
That's what
how
they
much
had in common.
there's no
Yeah.
supplement for feeling loved.
No.
And
And
that's the
loved and
problem with this.
supported.
That's
Yeah.
the problem with. I hope this doesn't sound political, but
It's fine.
it's not buying stuff. You know, it's not buying stuff that makes people, feel loved. You think it is, but it's not. There's no supplement for. You can't. People say, "Oh, I take vitamin D pills because I don't go out in the sun enough." Just go out in the sun. You're basically telling me that you're taking a pill that's equivalent to you standing in the sun for 30 minutes. That's crazy talk. Take your ass outside and touch some grass and walk a dog,
Hmm.
walk somebody else's dog, walk yourself. But you can't take a pill to supplement the fact that the sun needs to touch your skin to give you vitamin. That's crazy. There's no toy, there's no trip, there's no jewelry that someone should be able to purchase and give to you to make you say this person really loved me. That's me not having to do the work that it would take to love you. Because
Yeah.
if you don't feel loved, I gotta go out and buy something else. When you don't feel love, I gotta go buy something else. When you don't feel happy, I gotta go buy something else. There's never, and then now this is how we communicate. This is how our relationship has become transactional, and I don't want that. I don't want it. I don't
No.
want it.
It's
So
empty. It doesn't work. And for anyone listening, if you're thinking, well, but I really do want a nicer car, or I really do want better shoes, I understand that desire. But the truth is, you'll get that car, you'll get those shoes, and it's not going to be anything. It's not going to save you from
Hmm.
feeling lost or unloved or unworthy. What's going to save you from that is realizing that you're worthy of being loved. And one way to know that, in my opinion, is there's this technology, I call it, of give what you need. So if you feel a lack of love, where can you give love for
right,
real? Not because you want it, not for selfish reasons, but truly just start the energy of loving
yep,
and notice how it shows up for you, because it will. And that's going to feel a lot better than any pair of shoes you buy or any car you're driving. It just will. And I want to give you one quick example. When my husband proposed to me,
hmm,
he knew he was going to do that. And I had told him, because I had been married before, and I told him I didn't believe in marriage anymore. I didn't care. I would never do it again. It's ruined for me. And so when he was going to propose to me anyway, and of course I said yes. That's the spoiler alert, everyone. I did say yes 15 years ago. But the thing is, when you think about proposing in the Western world, it's always, you're talking about a certain engagement ring, and that is a certain status, and you have to make sure she likes the ring or she picks it. It has to be a certain size, color, whatever. It has to be 3 months of your salary if you listen to De Beers on TV, whatever that is, right? But what was so beautiful, and it's a perfect example, in my opinion, of feeling, because I feel loved and supported, and it's not about the material possessions. He looked at me and he went like this, and he said, I am putting a ring. See this? It's a ring of light. It's a ring of light, and I'm now putting it on your finger. Now, of course, I couldn't physically see it, but I could feel it, and I could see it. I could imagine it. And so it was the most beautiful ring anyone could give me. It was a ring of light. And I love that he felt comfortable enough in himself and the love we had that he could give me a ring of light and not worry about the fact that it's not a diamond and it's not from De Beers. It's not a
yeah,
whatever the hell. So and it was he couldn't have done better. He could not have given me a better ring.
right.
And of course I was going to say yes. to that? How could I not say yes to that?
Where did he
So
get the
it's
ring of light from? Was it from Jared's? Where did he get this ring of light from?
everyone can go out right now and get the ring of light.
Tell your husband
I
to start a
know.
jewelry company. I just sell rings of light. What is it? It's there. You can't see it, but go to my website, buy that ring.
We
It,
promise it's going to be there.
it's
Just
like your
trust.
pet rock. It's like your pet rock. I just bought a pet rock for $3. I get to take care of it. It doesn't eat much. You know, it gathers moss. It's cute. It doesn't make
Yeah.
noise. It's a good rock. So, also, I'm going back to
Yeah.
school in the spring to finish and get my degree in psychology because I want to become a therapist.
Nice. Good for you.
Mostly to help men be comfortable with expressing themselves, articulate their feelings, figure out how to take this raw emotion and make it digestible. Like I want to be the food processor. And you take this bad stuff, put it in, and then crank out some healthy juice that you can give to the person in your life. Instead of saying, eat this raw meat, shut up, eat it. This is love.
I
Good for
love
you.
that. So necessary. I think you'll help a lot of people and make a big difference.
Like I do it now. Like when I get off stage, men are standing around. I do 100 shows a year, probably 200 shows a year, probably. I meet so many people, but I remember every person that I talked to, that I helped or had a conversation with about something. Vegas 2 years ago, this guy from Seattle, this Indian guy. And in Indian culture, men don't really express themselves. They've never evolved to, I'm not gonna say evolved. I've never run into male Indian men who know how to express themselves. So this guy comes up to me after the show. He said, I'm so curious to know how you are able to talk like that. And I was like, talk like what? The way you feel and how you express yourself, how did you learn how to do that? I said, I listen to my body, I listen to my heart, I listen to how the other person I'm in a relationship responds to how I talk. And then I have a conversation with that person. He's there for a conference. He tells me about his wife. He tells me how he's not happy, but he's not happy like, my wife nags me or whatever. It's not that stereotypical 70s, 80s sitcom, like, oh, Alice to the moon, whatever, you get on my nerves. He just didn't feel love, but he didn't know how to say it. He didn't feel appreciated, and he didn't know how to say it because he was doing what he's supposed to do, which is be a provider. He working, got a house, she likes money, and he just like brought all his problems and gave them to me, and then I gave him my phone number, and I said, if you ever want to talk, you could text me or whatever. And we text for about 2 weeks, and then he kind of like drifted off because I could tell that despite how much he wanted better for himself, he had just told him that this is just his reality, that it was not going to be. And afraid of his wife also, which was interesting to hear him say. But he never come out and say it, but he would say everything but I'm afraid of my wife.
Yeah.
And he was afraid to be vulnerable. And he almost felt guilty for sharing it. Like, I don't know if I should be talking about this. I don't know. This is wrong. I should just shut up and do what I'm supposed to do. I was like, oh God. I thought about him the other day. I wanted to text him. It's been 2 years, but I remember that conversation. I remember that guy. I remember the guy who hugged me at the Flappers. I remember every man who's ever come up to me after the show and was like, I thank you for that. I've had women coming to me also and say, I never thought of it like that. I never looked at it like that.
Which is also so
Well, this is why
powerful.
you're going to,
And I don't do it from a place of like I'm bashing people. I'm not like, women need to learn how to, and men, we need to like. It's too divisive. It's problematic. It's toxic. It's too much finger pointing. It's too much. If you just stay in your lane and stuff, what are you talking about? It's just too much of. It's too much patriarchy involved.
Hmm. Well,
We
it's
are a problem. Men are. Men are. Men are. Men are. We are a big problem. We are.
well, well, I love, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to
We
bash
are.
men or women. I just think, I mean, I have so many men I love in my life, and including my son, for instance, who I think this next generation, there's a generation of men who are going to change the way people talk about American men, and he's one of them. But I wanted to say what is so beautiful is that you would go from being a comic and making people laugh to realizing how your pain, the things that you've worked out, that you work out on stage. And I know I've heard this about comedy in general, is it usually comes from intense pain and trauma. And the way to work it out is you've got to laugh or you'll die. There's no way around it. And you are so good at taking the things that you learn and being able to make people laugh, but then now you're taking it a step further and saying you really want to help people live longer by being able to experience love, give love, and receive
Oh,
love. So I want to thank you for that. And we
if
have
you
to wrap
love
up
yourself,
but I want to just say that because thank you.
if you love yourself, you don't need anything.
Yeah. You could say that again.
If you
If you
love
love
yourself,
yourself,
you don't need any. You don't need anything. Anything. If you love yourself, everything else is a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
The car is a bonus. The nice shoes is a bonus. The expensive watch is a bonus. Whatever you have, doesn't matter what you have. If you don't love yourself, those things own you.
Yeah.
yeah,
Those things own you, and you end up succumbing to the things that you worship.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I'm doing the therapy. That's why I had these conversations. There's a lot of men out there who don't know how to talk about what they've been through. I play VR poker a lot, and when I'm on, it's the Oculus. You put it on your head, and it's just like Total Recall. It's weird, but you put this thing going. I'm playing the video games on the poker table, and then late night, like at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll get on the table with somebody, and then I'll just start having therapy sessions with them. Like the other night, I was talking to a kid in Iowa. He's 24 years old. He was just not excited about life,
Mm.
and we just had a whole conversation. Like, what's going on? Just talk to him, and he was like, "I haven't had anyone have a serious conversation with me like this in 10 years."
Wow.
He said, "You ask me questions that my family doesn't even ask me," and he was like, "I don't know what made you do it, but thank you."
Mm.
Mm.
Did it for this kid in Mexico. He was online playing, and he was just afraid to. He was afraid to disappoint his family because he wanted to explore. Like he wanted to leave Mexico and go see other places, try other foods, but he didn't want to upset his family.
Mm.
And I was telling him, you can't grow if you stay where you're stagnated. You can't grow if you stay where people won't allow you to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love too about what you're describing for everyone listening is that it doesn't mean you don't. I know you're going to get a degree, but it doesn't require a degree for you to help have people be seen and heard and feel love. And you can do this. Anyone, like I always say, how can, and I know this will be a corny way of putting it, but how can I go out in the world today and anyone I come in contact with, I'm at least a good experience they can have that day. That's the least I can do, right? I know that's within my control. I can't be sure that it will give them a good experience, but I can make sure that I'm going to consciously high vibration, kindness, love as much as I possibly can. And it can be, you're in a supermarket and it's somebody that's standing there in line and you make a difference. So you're just showing examples again of how we all have the power to help each other be seen and heard, which means you are literally helping people be healthier. Seriously.
If you want to be selfish about it, be like, look at it from a standpoint: if I care about people, if I show interest, if I help somebody without hurting myself, it'll make the world I want to live in better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily have to be like this kid. Another one. He's 13 years old playing VR poker. 12 playing VR poker in the middle of the day. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, why are you at home? He said, oh, I'm homeschooled. Oh, okay. You got homework? Well, my mom's in the hospital right now. She just went to urgent care. She went to the emergency room or whatever. I said, are you home by yourself? He said, no, I'm home with my stepdad. Do you like him? Yeah, he's fine. But he didn't feel safe talking to him about what he ended up talking to me about. I said, why do you do homeschool? He said, I like it. He said, but I also have Crohn's disease. So it's hard for me to go to school because I got to make sure my diet is right, my stomach, different things. But my friends pick at me because I'm homeschooled and they don't know that I have the disease or whatever. I said, they probably won't understand it. And it's not for them to understand. It's for you to be okay with it as long as you understand it and your mom and you are supported. He said, well, I go to school periodically on the field trips and everything, but I don't go every day. I can't. I said, that's fine. I was like, if I could stay home every day, I would. I would love to stay home. You want to go? You want to go in my place? You can go in my place. I'll stay at your house while you're gone all day long. Like, I wanted to make him feel good about the fact that he was at home. I said, what are your interests? He's like, to draw. I collect figurines and comic books. I really want to draw. I said, do you draw? Not as much as I would like to. I used to work in a comic book store when I was in college for like 2 years. Probably one of the best jobs I ever had. You want to pay me to read comic books all day? I'll do it. I called the comic book store that I used to work at. I told the kid, I said, hey, I can't give you my number, but I'm going to give you the website to this comic book store. Call this comic book store, tell them I sent you. You tell them what you're interested in, and they'll send it to you. Don't worry about how much it's going to cost. It's taken care of. Because I have a relationship with the comic book store. I say, hey, this kid, he has Crohn's disease, homeschooled, getting bullied, mom in the hospital, not sure what the stepdad situation is, but I'm having a conversation with him that he probably should be having with his parents right now. When he calls you, find out what toys and comic books he like, and just send it to him. And they were like, done.
Oh, I love that. Aw, that's so cool.
Because I felt
Yeah.
bad for him. He's like, he don't want to be sick.
Yeah. That's an unapologetic uplift. And I know that Kim is a homeschool mom, by the way. So we have to wrap up because we always have this, her kids are banging at her door. They always make sure that we stick to a certain schedule or else we're in trouble. But Maronzio, I'm so grateful that you would have this conversation with us and that I could introduce you to Kim and to our audience. And
Hey,
I'm
Kim.
Yeah, it was so nice to meet you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Tell everybody in Ontario I said hello.
I'm going to be giving your website to one of my good friends as soon as we get off of this.
I will have a conversation with anybody. That's my love language. I like to talk. I want to make sure at the very least you don't feel like you're alone on this rock by yourself.
I love that.
That's so sweet. Thank you. And
everybody needs to feel seen. Everybody deserves to be seen. Like I said before, I don't know who spread the rumor or sent out a mandate that says you need to act like you know what you're doing. We're all doing this for the first time. And whatever's passed down to you was told to you by somebody who was on a different journey than the one that you're on. You take what you can from what they share, and what doesn't apply to you, you don't apply it without feeling like, oh, I can't even do that. You're not meant to do that. You're not meant to do what your mom did. You're not meant to do what your dad did. You're not meant to do what your brother did. You're not meant to do what your cousin did. You're not meant to do what your high school girlfriend did. This is your journey, your path. Go get it. because you're responsible for you at the end of the day.
So how can people find you? I know you said the website. Will you say it one more time, and then we'll make sure we put it in? And where do you want people to connect with you if they do want to have a conversation with you? Just
You
follow
can
what
go,
you're doing.
so you can go to safeheartinsurance.com and send me a message. If you send me a message on IG, Ms. Maronzio Vance, I respond to reasonable conversation. I'm not entertaining fantasies. I'm not entertaining conspiracies. I'm not entertaining your anarchist cookbook that you're creating in your basement. I'm not doing any of that. But I would definitely have a conversation with you if you're in a relationship, not in a relationship, struggling with not wanting to go back to somebody that makes you feel alive. I'm doing this whole series right now on weaning yourself off of somebody.
Mm.
You gotta listen, it sounds crazy, but you have to wean yourself off of certain people because
Yeah, no,
it,
100%. I'm so for that.
you
I
have
have a
to, because
client
people don't
that's
realize that.
weaning
What do you mean
herself off
wean
someone
yourself
right
off?
now, actually.
You have to. You just can't say cold turkey. I'm not doing this anymore. You can, but
But you'll
it has
repeat
to.
it with a different haircut, like I talked about earlier. That's where you're
Just
going to repeat.
just walking away does not mean it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Just walking away does not mean it's over. You have to be intentional. You have to tell yourself, this is not what I'm doing anymore. This person does not serve me. This person makes me. If you feel bad after you have had a conversation with somebody, that's not your person.
Yeah. Hmm.
I shouldn't have to dim my light to be in the same room with you because you want all the attention, or you want everything to be about you, or you're the most important person. We're both here.
Yeah. And never dim your light. Like they can put on sunglasses. Just
Don't
keep shining.
don't put yourself on the lower shelf because somebody doesn't want to reach up
Yeah.
to where you are, you know?
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Maronzio.
this
And
is
I'm
Yeah,
a
thank
excited.
great
you.
way to start a day. This was good. A lot of tranquility between you two ladies. I appreciate it.
You're so
I loved
welcome.
it too. Thank you so
And
much for coming on.
no, anytime. Have me back. I don't mind. I had to discuss it with my dog first, but if he's okay with it, I'll come back on the
He,
Thank y'all for having me.
all right, you
No
Take care.
guys.
problem.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on Unapologetic Uplift. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share the love and tell a friend about us, and give us a review.
Please don't miss a thing. Subscribe to this podcast and explore our sponsors, Objects with Purpose, Eco Luxury Candles, and Divine Activation membership.
Objects with Purpose is more than an eco-luxury candle brand. They are time travel devices in the form of a candle. Light the 3 wicks representing past, present, and future with the validation that you are exactly where you need to be. And if you're ready to raise your level of consciousness and step into your unapologetic, unfiltered, and unbothered era, join the Divine Activation membership at cuttingties.coach/queen. With 3 tiers to choose from, you'll find the perfect fit to support your transformation.
Thank you for your listening and love. We'll see you next Wednesday on Unapologetic Uplift.
Welcome to the Divine Activation membership, a movement for women that are ready to raise their consciousness and step into their unapologetic, unfiltered, and unbothered era.
With your heart, live authentically, and become the magnet for all of your soul's desire.
Grow, connect with your heart and body, release unhealthy and unhelpful thought patterns, heal old wounds, create new neural pathways, and reprogram your subconscious
with high-value beliefs so you can manifest the life you're meant for.
Ready to take a break from what's holding you back? Visit cuttingties.coach and join the Divine Activation membership today. Hey, unapologetic souls. I'm Ianthe Mauro, founder of Objects with Purpose, candles that touch the soul and the body. I've released a limited edition 3-wick candle collection in 3 fragrances inspired by a time in history. The Time Travel Collection, because scent evokes memory and lighting a candle can truly transport you to your highest self. Anytime.
Ianthe's candles are truly special, clean, safe, even for the body as a solid perfume or massage oil, and smell amazing. But what truly fills her heart is empowering others to be seen in their best light.
In 2020, when the 200 stores that sold my candles across the country closed their doors, I knew it was time to give back. I started guiding others to launch their own candle companies and design candles and fragrances for other brands as a way to share light in a dark time.
So why settle for just any conventional candle? Light the 3 wicks in each Objects with Purpose candle. You're supporting handmade in California, small batch, artisanal, eco-luxury, and treating yourself to a memory-evoking evolution. Visit ianthemauro.com to discover your next favorite candle. Let the olfactory experience inspire cherished memories.